The Galactic Council met in their grand hall. It was a huge room with tall windows that showed the stars outside. The room was full of different alien beings from all over the galaxy. They sat around a big round table, talking about important space matters. At the head of the table sat Zix, the leader of the Vex. The Vex were smart aliens made of a mix of rock and metal. They had led the Galactic Council for a very long time. Zix looked around the room with his 4 eyes, checking on the other council members. Next to Zix was Lumi, one of the Luminarians. Lumi looked like a floating ball of light. The Luminarians were known for being very wise. They often helped solve arguments between other aliens. On the other side sat Kraz, a big green scaly alien. Kraz was from the Kraxd, a race of strong warriors. The Kraxd didn't like to talk much. They preferred action over words. There were many other aliens too. Some had tentacles, others had wings. Some were very big, and others were very small. But they all had one thing in common. They thought they were the smartest and strongest beings in the galaxy. Zix spoke in a deep voice. Let's talk about the primitive species we found. A big screen appeared in the middle of the table. It showed pictures of different aliens who hadn't learned to travel in space yet. Look at these simple creatures, Zix said. They don't even know how to leave their own planets. The council members laughed. They felt very proud of themselves for being so advanced. Then, a new picture appeared on the screen. It showed a blue and green planet. This is Earth, Zix said. It's home to a species called humans. Kraz growled. Humans. They look weak. No scales, no claws. Lumi's light flickered, but they seem to be learning quickly. They've already sent small ships to their moon. Zix waved a rocky hand. It doesn't matter. They're still far behind us. It will take them thousands of years to catch up. The council members nodded in agreement. They didn't think humans were worth worrying about. Suddenly, the door burst open. A small purple alien ran in. He looked very scared. Emergency, emergency. The purple alien shouted. Zix stood up. What's going on? Why are you interrupting our meeting? The purple alien tried to catch his breath. We just got a message from one of our patrol ships. They met a new species in Sector 7. Lumi floated closer. A new species. How exciting. Are they friendly? The purple alien shook his head. No, not friendly. The patrol ship, it's gone. The room went quiet. Everyone looked shocked. Kraz stood up, showing his sharp teeth. Gone. What do you mean gone? Destroyed, the purple alien said. The new species destroyed our ship. Zix's rocky face looked angry. Who are these new aliens? How dare they attack us? The purple alien looked even more scared. That's the thing. They're not new aliens. They're humans. Everyone in the room gasped. They couldn't believe what they were hearing. Zix shook his head. That's impossible. Humans can't travel that far in space. They don't have the right ships. But they do, the purple alien said. Our patrol ship sent a picture before it was destroyed. He pushed a button, and a new image appeared on the big screen. It showed a sleek, silver spaceship. It was long and powerful looking, with big engines and what looked like weapons on its sides. The council members stared at the picture. They had never seen a ship like this before. Lumi's light dimmed a little. It seems we were wrong about the humans. Kraz growled again. We should crush them now, before they become stronger. But Zix held up his hand. Wait, we need to think about this carefully. If the humans have ships like this, who knows what else they can do? The room filled with worried whispers. The Galactic Council, who thought they knew everything about space, had just learned something new, and it scared them. As they argued about what to do, none of them noticed a small blinking light on the edge of the screen. It was a signal from another human ship, hiding in the darkness of space, watching and waiting. The day the Galactic Council first learned about human spaceships had arrived. and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same again. Far away from the Galactic Council, a small human ship floated in space. It was called the Star Seeker, and it was on a mission to explore new parts of the galaxy. The ship wasn't very big, but it was full of curious humans who wanted to learn about space. Captain Jeho stood on the bridge, looking out at the stars. He was excited to be so far from Earth. No human had ever been to this part of space before. "Captain," said Minji, the ship's science officer, "I'm picking up a strange signal." Jeho turned to look at her. "What kind of signal?" Minji pushed some buttons on her computer. "I'm not sure. It's not like anything we've seen before." Suddenly, a large shape appeared in front of their ship. It was another spaceship, but it wasn't from Earth. It was alien. The crew of the Star Seeker stared in amazement. They had finally found proof of alien life. "Try to talk to them," Jeho said to Hana, the communication officer. Hana nodded and started sending messages in different languages, but the alien ship didn't answer. "Maybe they don't understand us," Hana said, looking worried. Jeho thought for a moment. "Let's try sending them some simple math. Numbers might be a language we both understand." Hana sent out a series of beeps that represented basic math problems. They waited, hoping for a response. After a few minutes, the alien ship sent back a series of beeps. Hana's eyes went wide. They answered. They solved our math problems and sent new ones. The crew cheered. They were talking to aliens. But their happiness didn't last long. The alien ship suddenly moved closer. "Captain," said Sungmin, who was in charge of the ship's sensors. "They're scanning us with some kind of energy beam." Jeho frowned. He didn't like the sound of that. "Hana, tell them we come in peace. We just want to talk." Hana sent the message, but the alien ship didn't stop scanning them. "Their scan is getting stronger," Sungmin said, sounding scared. "It's starting to damage our systems." Jeho had to make a quick decision. "Turn the ship around. We need to leave." As the Star Seeker started to turn, the alien ship fired a bright beam of light. It hit the human ship, making it shake. "We're hit," Sungmin shouted. "Our engines are failing." Jeho looked at his crew. They were all scared, but they trusted him to keep them safe. "Send out a distress call to Earth. Tell them everything that happened." Hana quickly sent the message. Just as she finished, another beam from the alien ship hit them. The Star Seeker started to break apart. Jeho knew they only had moments left. "Everyone, get to the escape pods," he shouted. The crew ran to the small pods that could save their lives. Jeho made sure everyone else was safe before he got into the last pod. As the escape pods launched, Jeho watched his ship explode. The alien ship floated nearby, watching. "Why did they attack us?" Minji asked, her voice shaking. "We didn't do anything wrong." Jeho shook his head. "I don't know. Maybe they were scared of us, just like we were scared of them." The escape pods floated in space, their emergency beacons blinking. The alien ship watched them for a while, then turned and left. Jeho looked at the stars around them. He hoped their message had reached Earth. He hoped help would come soon. But most of all, he hoped that this wouldn't be the start of a war between humans and aliens. He had dreamed of meeting aliens his whole life. But not like this. Not with violence and fear. As the escape pods drifted in the quiet of space, Jeho made a promise to himself. If he survived, he would do everything he could to make sure humans and aliens could one day meet in peace. Little did Jeho know, his distress call was already racing towards Earth, about to change the course of human history forever. The message from the Star Seeker reached Earth. It spread quickly, from the space agency to the government, and then to people all over the world. Everyone was shocked. Aliens were real, and they had attacked a human ship. In a big, secret room under a mountain, the world's leaders met. They sat around a long table, looking worried. At the head of the table was President Suk, the leader of the World Union. "We need to decide what to do," President Suk said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed she was scared. General Park, the head of Earth's defense forces, stood up. "We should prepare for war," he said. "The aliens attacked us first. We must fight back." But Dr. Kim, a famous scientist, shook her head. "No, fighting is too dangerous. We don't know how strong the aliens are. We should try to talk to them first." The room filled with loud arguments. Some leaders agreed with General Park, others with Dr. Kim. President Suk listened to everyone, thinking hard. Finally, she raised her hand. The room went quiet. "We can't just fight, and we can't just talk," she said. "We need to show the aliens that we're strong, but also that we want peace." She turned to a quiet man sitting in the corner. It was Mr. Lee, the head of a secret space project. "Mr. Lee," President Suk said, "is it ready?" Mr. Lee nodded slowly. "Yes, Madam President. The HSS Thunderbolt is ready." The other leaders looked confused. They had never heard of the HS Thunderbolt. Mr. Lee stood up and pushed a button. The big screen on the wall lit up, showing a picture of a huge spaceship. It was bigger than any ship humans had ever built before. It looked powerful and scary. "This is the HS Thunderbolt," Mr. Lee said. "We've been building it in secret for years. It's the most advanced ship ever made." The leaders stared at the screen in amazement. "But how?" asked one. "How did we build this without anyone knowing?" Mr. Lee smiled a little. "We've had help. Remember the strange metal that fell from the sky 10 years ago? We learned a lot from studying it. The Thunderbolt uses technology we made from what we learned." President Suk nodded. "This ship will show the aliens that we're not weak, but we'll use it carefully. We want to make friends, not more enemies." She turned to General Park. "General, who's your best captain?" General Park thought for a moment. "That would be Captain Jae-sung. He's brave and smart. He always finds a way out of tough situations." "Good," said President Suk. "Call him here right away." An hour later, Captain Jae-sung walked into the room. He looked surprised to see all the world's leaders. President Suk stood up. "Captain Jae-sung, we have an important mission for you. You're going to command the HS Thunderbolt." Jae-sung's eyes went wide as he saw the picture of the huge ship. "Your mission," President Suk continued, "is to find the aliens who attacked our ship. Show them we're strong, but try to make peace. The whole future of humanity depends on you." Jae-sung stood up straight and nodded. "I understand, Madam President. I won't let you down." As Jae-sung left to prepare for the mission, the leaders started planning. They had to get ready for whatever might happen next. Outside, the world went on as normal. People went to work, children played in parks. No one knew that high above them, in a secret space station, a giant ship was getting ready to leave. The HSS Thunderbolt was about to start its journey. It would carry humanity's hopes and fears into the stars, and soon it would show the galaxy that humans were a force to be reckoned with. As night fell, Captain Jae-sung looked up at the stars. Tomorrow, he would be up there, facing unknown dangers. He felt scared, but also excited. Whatever happened, he knew that nothing would ever be the same again. The day had finally come. The HSS Thunderbolt was ready to leave Earth. Captain Jae-sung stood on the bridge, looking at his crew. They were the best Earth had to offer, but they all looked nervous. "I know you're scared," Jae-sung said. "I am too. But remember, we're not just exploring. We're protecting Earth. Let's make our planet proud." The crew nodded, feeling a little braver. Lieutenant Yun-ji, Jae-sung's second-in-command, spoke up. "Captain, all systems are ready. We can leave whenever you say." Jae-sung took a deep breath. "All right, let's go make history." The huge ship rose slowly from its secret base on the moon. As it moved away from Earth, the crew could see their blue planet getting smaller. Dr. Sang-min, the ship's scientist, was checking some screens. Captain, our new engines are working perfectly. We're going faster than any human ship before. Jae-sung nodded. Good. How long until we reach the place where the Star Seeker was attacked? At this speed, Sang-min said, about 3 days. The journey was exciting. The crew saw amazing things they had never seen before. They passed beautiful nebulas that looked like colorful clouds in space. They saw stars being born in huge gas clouds. But they also faced dangers. On the second day, they met a group of asteroids moving very fast. Evasive action, Jae-sung shouted. Yeonji's hands moved quickly over the controls. The big ship moved smoothly between the asteroids, barely avoiding them. When they were safe, everyone cheered. They were starting to see how good their new ship was. On the third day, they reached the place where the Star Seeker had been attacked. They found pieces of the ship still floating in space. Jae-sung felt sad and angry. We'll make sure they didn't die for nothing, he said quietly. Suddenly, Sang-min shouted, Captain, I'm picking up a signal. It's not human. Everyone got ready. Was it the aliens who had attacked the Star Seeker? But when the ship appeared, it wasn't what they expected. It was small and looked broken. Lights on its side were blinking weakly. It looks like they need help, Yeonji said. Jae-sung thought for a moment. This could be a trick. But if the aliens really needed help, and he didn't give it, he would be no better than those who had attacked the Star Seeker. Let's bring them in, he decided. But be careful. They used the Thunderbolt's tractor beam to pull the small ship into their cargo bay. When the doors opened, 2 aliens came out. They looked like big insects with blue skin. The aliens were scared at first, but when they saw the humans weren't going to hurt them, they relaxed. Dr. Sang-min figured out how to talk to them using the ship's computer. The aliens said their name for themselves sounded like Zilk. They had been attacked by another alien race and left to die in space. The attackers said we were in their space, one Zilk said, but we didn't know. We were just looking for a new home. Jae-sung felt sorry for the Zilk. We'll help you get to safety, he said. Can you tell us more about the aliens who attacked you? The Zilk described the attackers. They sounded just like the aliens who had destroyed the Star Seeker. Jae-sung realized they were on the right track. These bad aliens were attacking everyone, not just humans. We're going to meet these aliens, Jae-sung told the Zilk. We want to stop them from hurting anyone else. Will you help us? The Zilk agreed. They were thankful for the help and wanted to do something good in return. As the Thunderbolt started moving again, Jae-sung looked at the stars ahead. They were getting closer to their goal. Soon, they would meet the aliens who had caused so much trouble. But now, they weren't just fighting for Earth. They were fighting for all the innocent aliens who had been hurt too. Jae-sung felt the weight of this big job, but he was ready for it. The HSS Thunderbolt moved on, carrying humans and aliens together, ready to face whatever came next. After many days of traveling through space, the HSS Thunderbolt finally reached its destination. In front of them was a huge space station. It looked like a giant wheel with spokes coming out of it. Lights blinked all over its surface. That must be where the Galactic Council meets, Captain Jae-sung said. He turned to the Zilk, who were now part of the crew. Is this the place? The Zilk nodded their antenna. Yes, this is it. All important space decisions are made here. Jae-sung took a deep breath. This was it, the moment they had been waiting for. Okay, everyone, he said to his crew. Remember our mission. We're here to talk, not fight. But be ready for anything. Lieutenant Yeonji spoke up. Captain, look, there are many ships around the station. They seem to be running away. Jae-sung looked closer. Yeonji was right. Smaller ships were leaving the station quickly, as if they were scared of something. Suddenly, Dr. Sang-min shouted, Captain, we're being scanned. Before Jae-sung could respond, a voice came through the ship's speakers. It sounded angry and scared at the same time. Unknown vessel, You are in restricted space. Leave immediately or be destroyed. Jae-sung looked at his crew. They all nodded, ready to follow his lead. This is Captain Jae-sung of the HS Thunderbolt, he said calmly. We come from Earth. We're here to talk about the attack on our ship, the Starseeker. There was silence for a moment. Then the voice came back, sounding even more scared. Impossible. Humans don't have ships this big. This must be a trick. Jae-sung smiled a little. Their plan was working. The Galactic Council was surprised by how advanced humans were. It's no trick, Jae-sung said. We're here to join the Galactic Council and to make peace, but we're also here to protect ourselves and others who have been attacked unfairly. More silence. Then a different voice spoke. This one sounded older and calmer. Human vessel. This is Counselor Zix. We would like to talk. Please send a small ship to dock with us. Jae-sung shook his head, even though the aliens couldn't see him. I'm sorry, Counselor. We don't trust you enough for that yet. You can come to us, or we can talk like this. But we're not leaving our ship. He nodded to Eunji. She pressed some buttons, and the Thunderbolt moved closer to the station. It was so big that it filled all the windows. Inside the station, the Galactic Council was in chaos. Aliens of all shapes and sizes were running around, shouting and waving their arms, or tentacles, or wings. Zix, the leader, tried to calm everyone down. Please, we must think carefully. The humans are more powerful than we thought. Kraz, the warrior alien, growled. Let's attack now, before they attack us. But Lumi, the wise glowing alien, disagreed. No, that would be a big mistake, can't you see? Their ship is huge. Who knows what kind of weapons it has? Outside, on the Thunderbolt, Jae-sung waited patiently. He knew the council was probably arguing about what to do. What now, Captain? Eunji asked. Jae-sung looked at the huge station. Now we wait, but let's show them a little more of what we can do. He turned to Dr. Sangmin. Doctor, can you make our shields visible? Sangmin nodded and pressed some buttons. Suddenly, a soft blue glow appeared around the Thunderbolt. Inside the station, the aliens gasped as they saw the shield. By the stars, Zix whispered. What are these humans capable of? Jae-sung smiled as he saw the reaction. He didn't want to scare the aliens, but he did want them to respect humans. Send them another message, he told Eunji. Tell them we're ready to talk whenever they are. Tell them we come in peace, but we're not afraid to defend ourselves if we have to. As Eunji sent the message, Jae-sung looked out at the stars. He hoped this would lead to peace, not war. But whatever happened, he knew that the galaxy would never be the same again. The day the Galactic Council first saw a human battleship had come, and they were definitely panicking. After what seemed like hours, the Galactic Council finally agreed to talk. They set up a video call with the HS Thunderbolt. Captain Jae-sung stood in front of a big screen, ready to meet the aliens face to face for the first time. The screen flickered to life. On it, Jae-sung saw a group of strange creatures. There was a rock-like being with 4 eyes, a floating ball of light, and a big green scaly alien. These must be the leaders of the Galactic Council. Greetings, humans, the rock-like alien said. I am Zix, leader of the council. We are surprised by your ship. Jae-sung nodded. I understand. We've come a long way to talk to you. I'm Captain Jae-sung of Earth. The big green alien, Kraz, growled. Why should we talk? You're in our space. But the ball of light, Lumi, glowed brighter. Peace, Kraz. Remember why we're here. Jae-sung took a deep breath. We're here because one of your ships attacked our explorers. We want to know why. The aliens looked at each other, seeming uncomfortable. Finally, Zix spoke. We thought you were a threat. We didn't know humans could build such advanced ships. Jae-sung frowned. So you attack anyone you think is a threat, without talking first. The aliens looked ashamed. Even Kraz seemed to shrink a little. "We made a mistake," Lumi said softly. "We've ruled the galaxy for so long, we forgot how to welcome new friends." Jae-sung nodded. He understood feeling scared of new things, but that was no excuse for violence. "We don't want war," Jae-sung said. "We want to join the galactic community, to learn and share knowledge." The aliens perked up at this. They hadn't expected the humans to be so reasonable. "Tell us, Captain," Six said, leaning forward. "How did humans build such an impressive ship so quickly?" Jae-sung smiled. It was time to share their secret. 10 years ago, a strange metal fell from the sky to Earth. We studied it and learned many new things. That's how we built the Thunderbolt. The aliens gasped. Lumi's light flickered rapidly. "The precursor metal," Lumi exclaimed. "We've been searching for it for centuries." Now it was Jae-sung's turn to be surprised. "Precursor metal? What do you mean?" Zix explained. "Long ago, there was a race called the Precursors. They were far more advanced than any of us. But they disappeared, leaving only bits of their technology behind. That metal was part of it." Jae-sung was amazed. They had stumbled upon one of the galaxy's greatest mysteries. "We didn't know," he said. "We just used it to protect ourselves and explore." The aliens looked at each other, then back at Jae-sung. "Perhaps," Lumi said slowly, "this is why you were meant to find it. You used it not for war, but for growth and exploration." Kraz nodded, surprising everyone. "You humans are brave, coming here in one ship to face the whole council. I respect that." Jae-sung felt hope growing. Maybe they could be friends after all. "We have an idea," he said. "We've met some aliens called the Zilk. They were attacked too and need a new home. Maybe we could all work together to help them." The council members looked thoughtful. Then Six nodded. Yes, I think that's a wonderful idea. It would be a good first step towards peace between us." As they talked more, making plans to help the Zilk and share knowledge, Jae-sung felt proud. They had come to space ready for war, but instead found a chance for peace. Back on the Thunderbolt, the crew cheered as Jae-sung told them the news. They had done it. Humans were now part of the galactic community. As the Thunderbolt prepared to guide the council to meet the Zilk, Jae-sung looked out at the stars. The galaxy was bigger and stranger than they had ever imagined. But now, they were ready to explore it not as enemies, but as friends. The day the Galactic Council first saw a human battleship had started with panic, but it was ending with hope for a bright, shared future. 1 year had passed since the HSS Thunderbolt first met the Galactic Council. Captain Jae-sung stood on the bridge of his ship, looking out at a view that still amazed him. The Thunderbolt was docked at the huge Galactic Council station. Around it, ships of all shapes and sizes flew by. Some were familiar now, but others still looked strange and wonderful. "Captain," Lieutenant Yunjai called. "It's time for the meeting." Jae-sung nodded and straightened his uniform. "Let's go make history again," he said with a smile. They walked into a big room on the station. Aliens from all over the galaxy were there. Jae-sung sought his friends. Zix, the rock-like alien, Lumi, the ball of light, and even Kraz, the big green warrior. There were also many new faces, including some happy-looking Zilk. At the front of the room was a stage with a podium. Zix stood there, waiting for everyone to quiet down. "Friends, allies, honored guests," Zix began. "1 year ago, we thought we knew everything about our galaxy. We were wrong." The room was silent, everyone listening carefully. "The humans showed us that there is always more to learn, more to discover," Zix continued. "They taught us that strength isn't just about big ships or powerful weapons. It's about curiosity, kindness, and the courage to make friends instead of enemies." Jae-sung felt proud. It hadn't been easy, but humans had shown the galaxy their best side. Zix waved a rocky hand towards Jae-sung. "Captain, please join me." As Jae-sung walked to the stage, He saw Dr. Sangmin and some Zilk scientists waving excitedly from the crowd. They had been working together, studying the precursor metal and making amazing discoveries. Today, Zix said, "We are not just celebrating 1 year of peace. We are starting a new chapter in galactic history." He turned to Jae-sung. "Captain, on behalf of the Galactic Council, I invite humanity to become full members of our alliance." The room erupted in cheers and strange alien sounds that Jae-sung had learned meant happiness. He shook Zix's hand, carefully, so he wouldn't hurt himself on the rocky skin. "We are honored," Jae-sung said into the microphone. "Humans have dreamed of this day for centuries. We promise to be good friends and allies to all peaceful species in the galaxy." As the cheering got louder, Jae-sung saw Kraz approach the stage. The big green alien was carrying something. "Human," Kraz said gruffly, but with a smile. "You have proved to be great warriors, not in battle, but in peace. We want you to have this." He handed Jae-sung a beautiful glowing orb. "This is the Orb of Unity," Kraz explained. "It's our highest honor. It means you are true friends of all galactic people." Jae-sung felt tears in his eyes as he held the orb. "Thank you," he said softly. "We will treasure this always." The celebration went on for hours. Aliens and humans talked, laughed, and shared stories. Jae-sung met beings from worlds he had never imagined. Each one had something new to teach. Later, as things quieted down, Jae-sung found himself standing with Zix, Lumi, and Kraz, looking out a big window at the stars. "What do you think is out there?" Jae-sung asked, pointing to the darkness between the stars. Lumi glowed softly. "Who knows? A year ago, we didn't know you existed. Now, we're the best of friends." Kraz nodded. "Maybe there are more surprises waiting, more friends to make, or more mysteries to solve," Zix added. "The precursors left many secrets behind. Together, we might find them all." Jae-sung smiled. "Well, the Thunderbolt is ready for more adventures. Who wants to come exploring with us?" The aliens all raised their hands, or tentacles, or light beams, eagerly. As they made plans for their next journey, Jae-sung felt happier than ever. The day the Galactic Council first saw a human battleship had started with fear, but it had led to friendship, discovery, and a whole galaxy of possibilities. Humans had taken their place among the stars, and the greatest adventures were still to come.